Good evening. We have come together in an hour of hurry and fear, remedies multiplying and failing, minds racing and hearts tired, and the soul is done with argument. It wants evidence. Not tomorrow's promise, not a brighter plan. Evidence now. Do you see that? The world is crowded with explanations. The heart is empty of presence. So tonight, we make a very gentle, very daring promise. We are not going to learn a theory of God. We are going to sit in the light until the inner switch is felt, the click of Emmanuel, which being interpreted as God with us, Matthew 1:23. Not God somewhere, not God later, God with us. I am not here to load your memory. I am here to quiet the memory until the I am speaks for itself. Be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10. That is present tense instruction, not a future exam. There is no future tense in truth. The Lord is my shepherd. He is, I am. When the soul hears that, not with ears, but with that little inward click, you will notice the breath drop, the shoulders soften, and everything in you say, yes. Do you see that? We are seeking a who, not a what. We are not pursuing things, conditions, improved circumstances. We are waiting upon the one who is the very condition of all conditions. Don't try to do something. Don't try to change something. Sit until you feel that. Presence, time means nothing. 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 5 years, when the click comes, it erases the calendar. If you get restless, it's all right. Smile at your restlessness. It has had its way with you long enough. Tonight we reverse it. We will do no works. We will ask for no signs. We will not work on bodies, on bank accounts, on wars or weather. We will wait on the one. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. That I am needs no assistance. It needs recognition. Now, to calm the mind that wants instructions, I know that mind. It sits over there taking notes and asking about step 4. Before step 1 is finished, we will have a simple experiment. 3 moves, but 1 presence is as click, not yet to analyze, merely to expect, is the recognition that reality only is. As the recognition that God appears as this very identity before you, sun as sunbeam, glass as tumbler, click. Emmanuel felt, not imagined. That click is the permission for any action. Without it, we are tourists in Holy Land, taking pictures and missing the temple. Do you see that? This is our covenant tonight. We will not labor under the problem. We will abide in presence. Lo, I am with you always. Matthew 28:20. Not a slogan, an actuality to be felt. The soul is asking for bread, not recipes. And we shall have bread. Quietly, simply, with a little humor if we must. I promise you, when the click comes, even your worries will ask for new employment. So, let us consent. God is, God is, God is. And when the inner yes answers, we begin. Now, if we are not here for theories, we must be very clear on what we mean by healing. Healing is not repair. It is revelation. It is what is spiritually true, appearing as form to your awareness. Not a defective part made better. Not a human image upgraded. When light comes into a dark room, it does not mend the furniture. It reveals what is already there. Do you see that? When the presence is perceived, what seemed to be wrong is not fixed. It is found to have been a shadow on the lens, a picture in thought. He sent his word and healed them. Psalm 107-20. Word, not wrench. Revelation, not repair. Some years ago, a little dog was brought to me, a hip pronounced broken. You would have liked the x-ray. It was very convincing. 2 nights later, the dog was walking. Now, what happened? Did bones leap up like eager carpenters and put in overtime? No. You haven't seen a bone knit. You witnessed the new creature, Christ. You witnessed what had always been true in God, appearing as this beloved creature when our thought dropped its picture, not a repaired animal. The old image set aside, the Christ idea shining. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Behold now, not later. There is no future tense in truth. This is why time is not a factor. If healing is revelation, the calendar is dismissed. Light does not take Tuesday off and return Wednesday to be light again. God is. I am. Do you see that? When the click of Emmanuel halts the noise, the veil lifts, and what seemed to be a problem dissolves into presence. Not because matter obeyed a technique, but because mind ceased projecting its picture. There is no such thing as an externalized illusion. The illusion is within us. The mountain is not wearing the cloud. Our eye is. And the sun was never clouded. We stumble because we imagine two. God somewhere and man here. Spirit above and body below. A patient over there and a healer over here. Nonsense. Here is God appearing as individual. Here is life appearing as dog, as neighbor, as you. That is the as secret. And the is a secret declares it present. When Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, John 11:25, he did not schedule it for Sunday at 2. He revealed the always now, and men called it miracle. The Lord is my shepherd, Psalm 23:1. Not will be, not used to be, my shepherding, isness, sustaining this breath. So our ministry is not adjusting conditions. It is recognizing God as the very identity where a condition seemed to be. Not a sick man made well, the Christ appearing where humanhood seemed to stand. Not a broken hip repaired, the new creature seen. And this appearing is not accomplished by effort. It is witnessed in stillness. Sit until that inner yes, that click, says, Lo, I am with you always. Matthew 28-20 here. As this. Then the picture changes because the seer has changed. Do you see that? If healing is revelation, time is not a factor. Presence is the only factor. And presence is 2 keys open this door we are standing before. Not complicated keys. Not the kind you lose in the sofa cushions. They are stamped so plainly that the mind, in its brilliance, often trips over them. The first is as. The second is. As secures identity, as secures immediacy. Together they end the 2 great errors, separation and delay. Do you see that? As means there is not God and man. There is God as man. There is not life somewhere and a person over here trying to borrow it. There is life as this one. In him we live and move and have our being. Acts 17:28. Not beside him, not at a polite distance within, as consider a glass factory. Substance, glass, foam, tumbler. You do not pour glass into a tumbler from the outside. Tumbler is glass appearing as a particular use. So with God and individual identity. Substance, God form. You, me, neighbor, God appearing as Jesus, as Joel, as Mary. Here is God made manifest as man. Do you see that? Or take the sun. You have never seen a sunbeam detached, going off to make a life of its own and report back at Christmas. Sun is sunbeam. One substance, differing expressions. If you chase the beam to possess it, you have missed the sun. If you recognize the beam as the sun's very presence, right where you stand, you have oneness. So with Emmanuel God as this very identity, this moment, and the Word was made flesh, John 1:14, not somewhere else, not in another century here, as now. The second key is present tense reality. There is no future tense in truth. Not will be, not when I am worthy, not after 3 lessons and a certificate. Is cancels the calendar. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. The Lord is my shepherd. Psalm 23:1. Is. God is. God is. I am. I am. When you hear that not as poetry but as fact, breath settles, the soul smiles, and delay folds up like last year's map. Do you see that? It secures immediacy. Now, I know our scholars prefer I and my Father are one, John 10:30. Quite right. Yet for the sake of your heart, hear it this way. I and the Father is one. Yes, the grammarians may faint. We will revive them later. For now, feel the oneness. Not two made harmonious by diplomacy, but one being, one life, one law, one, if there is truly one. There can be no separation to bridge, no road to travel, no future to wait for. Put the keys together, as and is. God is this identity. God is this very moment. Identity secured, immediacy secured. The door to the click stands open. Today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, Hebrews 3:15. Today, meaning now. Harden not, meaning do not insist on your pictures of two and later. Let the mantra do its quiet work. God is. God is. Is. I am. I am. Then the very scene before you face task, need, loses its otherness and its postponement. Emmanuel is here as this. Now, you see that? Let us open the book, not as a scrapbook of wonders gone by, but as a living teacher speaking now. Psalm 23 does not say, the Lord was my shepherd when David behaved well, nor the Lord will be my shepherd when a promotion arrives. It says, the Lord is my shepherd, Psalm 23:1, is. There is no future tense in truth. Take it as a practice, not a recital. Breathe it, not at your lips, but at your root. The Lord is. Shepherding isness governs this very breath, this heartbeat, this moment. When the mind rushes to ask for supply or safety, it is asking a past or a future to behave. Bring it home. The Lord is my shepherd. Let that sentence shepherd the asker into silence. Stay until the click, until the rod and staff are felt, not imagined. You see that? Now, Nicodemus, dear scholarly Nicodemus, comes to Jesus by night, polite and curious, and hears this. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. John 3:3. He wants a method, a timetable, how to go back into the mother's womb. He is thinking of repair. Jesus is revealing replacement, not a polished human, not a stricter rule book, but the new creature, Christ, appearing as you now. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. John 3-6. Spirit is identity. God is this, not two. New birth is not an event scheduled. It is a recognition received. It is the vanishing of the old picture the moment presence is realized. It happens when? Now. The wind bloweth where it listeth. John 3-8. You do not manage it. You witness it. Do you see that? Then listen to the Master again. I am the bread of life. John 6:35. Bread of life is not wheat, not calories, not matter served on a plate. It is substance as spirit, nourishment as isness. Labor not for the meat which perisheth. John 6:27. Feed on is. Eat what cannot spoil. Present being recognized. When hunger of body, mind, or pocket announces itself, turn from the cupboard of effects and take this meal. God is. God is. Is. I am. I am. Watch want dissolve into sufficiency when the click seals the meal. Oh, you will still enjoy your breakfast, but you will not confuse toast with life. Do you see that? And from the bush that burns and is not consumed, the name speaks, I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. Not I was, not I will be, I am. Divine self-announcement as the core of identity. Hear it within your own center. I am speaks as you, not ego inflated, but God as individual expression. Here the two keys return. I am is the is. That I am as you is the as. When you say, I and the Father is one, let the grammarian gasp, feel the fact. One substance, one life, one law, appearing as your very being. Do you see what Scripture is saying in one voice? Live in is, behold God as this. Psalm 23 gives you the mantra of immediacy. John 3 removes repair and reveals birth as recognition. John 6 feeds you with spirit substance now. Exodus names your identity. I am present. Take any verse and instead of studying its history, practice its instruction. Sit until the words stop traveling and begin being. Sit until the click comes. Then rise, not as a better human seeking better days, but as the new creature Christ, the Word made flesh, here. God is, I am. Never give up. Never give up. Time means nothing. Presence is all. Except God be with him. John 3-2. That is not a compliment. That is a prohibition. It says, do not try this alone. Jesus makes it plainer still. I can of mine own self do nothing. John 5:30. Nothing. He does not say a little something on a good day. He says nothing. Then he instructs his own. Tarry ye until ye be endued with power from on high. Luke 24-49. Tarry, wait. Do you see that? The click is permission. Without it, silence is obedience. There is no future tense in truth, and there is no power in self-effort. The Father within me, he doeth the works, John 14:10. Without that withinness felt as a manual, we are tourists, not witnesses. So the first law of our ministry is this: do nothing without Emmanuel. Do not try to heal. Do not try to change. Do not try to persuade or improve. Abide until the click. Except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Psalm 127-1. Vain labor can be very industrious. It writes letters, organizes committees, recites affirmations, and measures progress with calendars and thermometers. And after all that, it asks, why no fruit? Because we confused movement with presence. If presence alone works, then otherwise we could just go to the movies every night. Not so. The prohibition saves us from entertainment masquerading as service. Here is the protocol. A call comes. Need, pain, confusion. Your heart leaps to help. Stop. Take no thought. Matthew 6:25. Close the case, not the compassion. Go into thy closet. Matthew 6:6. Return to is. God is. I am. Return to as God is this one. God is this situation. God is individual being here. Wait. Time means nothing. 5 minutes or 5 hours. 5 days or 5 years. Tarry ye until endued. If the click does not come, speak kindly and do nothing. Do you see that? The click is permission. Without it, silence is obedience. It is not neglect. It is fidelity to one power, one law, one cause. How will you know the click? Not by fireworks. A soft, authoritative, yes, breath drops, mind unclenches, and the sense of two, and later evaporates. The name whispers I am, and the scene before you is no longer a problem needing force, but presence revealing itself. Then, and only then, act or do not act. Sometimes the click authorizes a word. Sometimes it seals a holy hush. Either way, the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. John 14:10. We are witnesses, not workers. This is our safety. Never substitute effort for presence. Keep to the guardrail. Is and as until click. If absent, close the case and return. Never give up. Never give up. Time means nothing. Presence is all. And when Emmanuel answers with that inward click, you will discover that what you could not accomplish in a year of trying is finished in a breath of being. Do you see that? Because we are forbidden to move without the click, let us make very plain how we sit until it comes. Not a technique. God needs no techniques. A recognition, 3 moves, but 1 motion. Is, as, click. Recognition, unfolding into authority. We will practice, not perform. Do you see that? Step 1, descend into is. Close the door of asking. Lock it gently. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Not be busy. Be still. Not know about. No. Sit and let God empty the room. Allow every request to set down its suitcase and miss its train. Take no thought for the body, the purse, the headline, Matthew 6:25. Simply consent. God is, I am. Let the sentence do the work. You do nothing. Time means nothing. Whether the mind fidgets or behaves is of no importance. We are not training an animal. We are recognizing reality. The Lord is my shepherd now, Psalm 23:1. Isness shepherds this breath. And as you settle, you will feel a soft descent, a weightlessness, as if a crowded theater has been quietly vacated. Do you see that? Step 2, see God as this. When the room is empty of asking, let sight be filled with 1, not God but God as, henceforth know we no man after the flesh. 2 Corinthians 5:16. Look at your own sense of self, God as I. Look at the next one, God as neighbor. Look at the scene God as this. Sun as sunbeam, substance as tumbler, one appearing in many uses. We are not imagining halos on heads. Oh, that would keep the artist busy. We are noticing identity. Here is God made manifest as man, as woman, as child, as creature, as work. In him we live and move and have our being. Acts 17:28. Feel how otherness fades, the two-ness dissolves. I and the Father is one. Yes, let the grammarian rest a moment. We are hearing with the heart. Do you see that? Step 3, wait for Emmanuel the click, having ceased request and recognized as do nothing. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Exodus 14:13. Tarry until endued. Luke 24-49. Not duration, surrender. Not counting breaths, letting breath be counted for you. The sign is simple. A quiet yes. Breath drops of itself. Mind loosens its belt. And peace that passeth all understanding keeps your heart and mind. Philippians 4-7. No fireworks, no voice from the ceiling, just authority. A seal upon awareness. Lo, I am with you always. Matthew 28-20 is no longer a verse. It is felt. Emmanuel. These three are one movement. Sometimes they arrive as a single syllable. Is. Sometimes as opens the door to is. Do not manage the order. Witness the appearing. Not technique, but recognition. Not duration, but surrender. Practice, not performance. Never give up. Never give up. Time means nothing. Presence is all. Do you see that? Now we begin. Take your seat as you are no heroics. Let the body find a chair that does not argue. Feet easy on the floor, hands open in the lap as if you have already received. Eyes soft, not shut tight as if guarding a treasure. Not staring as if hunting one, just soft. Breath unforced. We are not pumping air. Air is already moving. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46-10. Not be rigid. Be still. Not know about, know. Do you see that? Now let the mantra pass through like a friendly tide. God is, is. I am. No pushing, no metronome, just a light returning. The way you look back at the door you came through to remember you are home. If thoughts parade needs, plans, opinions, do not chew them. Let them tire of themselves. We are not answering them. We are not fixing. We are not asking. Take no thought, Matthew 6:25. There is no future tense in truth. God is. I am. Lay down every request as if you were setting down a sack that has left red marks on your hands. Supply, set it down. Health, set it down. Outcomes, set them down. Present acknowledgement only. If you catch yourself bargaining, if only, when then, smile as at a child playing dress up and return to is. Do you see that? The shepherd is. Now Psalm 23:1. Markers will appear of their own accord. Shoulders quietly drop as if someone removed a coat you forgot you were wearing. The breath finds you rather than you finding it. Timelines fade, the appointment, the deadline. The memory like chalk washed by a gentle rain. Problem narratives lose voltage. They still mouth their lines, but the microphone has been unplugged. You are not doing this. Isness is simply revealing itself as the only atmosphere here. The Lord is my shepherd. Psalm 23:1. Hear that as present shepherding, not poetry. God is. God is. Is. I am. Do you see that? If the mind argues, am I doing this right? How long? What about Tuesday? Answer it with a grin. We have all employed a very busy consultant who has never produced a result. Thank it for its service and let it go to the movies. Return. God is. God is. Is. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. Present being. There is no future tense in truth. This is not concentration. This is not decorating thought with holy words. This is subtraction until only presence remains obvious. The room inside grows spacious. Even the body seems to sit inside that space rather than you sitting inside the body. If nothing happens, let that be what happens. Time means nothing. Stay with is as you would rest against the tree. No instruction to the bark. No coaching of the leaves. God is, I am. In stillness, isness announces itself without fanfare. And in the absence of asking, you find you are already kept. Do you see that? The shepherd is now, with the room quieted by is, open your eyes within and exchange the labels. Gently, without ceremony. God is appearing as me. Let that settle. God is appearing as Mary. Let that settle. God is appearing as the one before me, this very face, this very life. Do you see that? We are not importing divinity like cargo through customs. We are recognizing identity. Henceforth know we no man after the flesh, 2 Corinthians 5:16. No after spirit, no as. Take the glass and tumbler again. There are not two things, glass and a tumbler, arguing over origins. There is glass appearing as tumbler. You do not add glassness to the cup with a little dropper. Tumbler is glass in the very act of being what it is. So with God and individual, there is not God and man shaking hands across a table. There is God as man. The Word was made flesh. John 1:14. Not lent, not least, made manifest as the form before you. Or if you like the sun better, see it as sun as sunbeam. The beam is not a freelance contractor. It is the sun's very presence, localized for your delight. Chase it and you miss it. Recognize it and you have the sun right here. Do you see that? As secures identity, therefore resistance loses its address. One power, one law, one cause. If there is truly one cause, what is left to oppose? If God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. And hear it rightly. Not God for us against them, God as us erasing them. Separation dissolves. The very sense that there is an outside to push back from fades like fog in first light. You do not brace yourself against oneness. You rest in it. Now correct the lens. The appearance you objected to, sour expression, failing body, threatening headline, was not a force embedded in them. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. John 7:24. The illusion is not in matter. It is within perception. Two rails seem to meet in the distance. They do not. A cloud seems to sit on the mountain. It doesn't. When the eye is single, when it sees as instead of, and thy whole body shall be full of light. Matthew 6:22. The otherness was our picture. The Christ was present all along. Watch what rises as you see this. Compassion without effort. You are not trying to be kind. Love appears of its own nature when Tunis ends. Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, ye have done it unto me. Matthew 25-40. Of course, me is appearing as these. The strain of fixing a person loosens into the joy of recognizing presence. The critic in you, that unpaid editor of other people's lives, puts down its red pencil and smiles. Do you see that? As in separation, love appears without trying. Practice it this instant. Look at your own hands. God as these hands. Look toward the next chair. God as that one. Let the mind offer a name, a history, a quarrel, then exchange the label, Emmanuel, as this. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians 1:27. Not tucked away for rainy days, but shining here as identity. Stay simple. No stapled halos, please. The head would object. Just a quiet knowing. Here is God made manifest as man. God is as this, is as I am. Keep to it as you move through the day. Grocery clerk, God as. Policymaker, God as. Family member who practices your patience, God as. You will notice the breath remain low and steady. The shoulders refuse their old armor. With one power, there is nothing to fear. With one identity, no one to fix. Do you see that? As end separation now, there is no future tense in truth. And in that oneness, love walks in before you have a chance to decide to love. Now we wait. Having laid down asking and exchanged the labels, we abide without agenda, no projects in the silence, no rehearsals, just tarry. Tarry ye until ye be endued with power from on high. Luke 24:49. The closet is shut, thought is off duty, presence is. Time means nothing here, 5 minutes or 50, sunrise or midnight. Let stillness ripen as fruit ripens on the branch by being what it is, not by being tugged. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. If the clock fusses, let it practice worry by itself. You are not a timekeeper now. You are a witness. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Exodus 14:13. Do you see that? And then often so slight you might miss it if you were looking for thunder the click. A tiny consent, not manufactured but discovered, like a door that was always unlocked. A warmth, perhaps low in the chest. A breath that drops of its own accord. A sense that the room has been gently sealed from drafts. Not fireworks. Authority. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. John 14:27. The peace that passeth all understanding, Philippians 4:7, has no question in it. It is a yes without an opposite. Lo, I am with you always, Matthew 28:20, is no longer a comforting verse. It is a felt fact. The name I am is not sounded. It announces itself. Do you see that? The click is Emmanuel, God with us, as us. Not imagined, not willed, felt. Discernment is simple because it is gentle. Where there is the click, there is no argument left to settle. No but what about. No itch to improve the plan. Only consent. My sheep hear my voice, John 10:27. Not with ears, but with being. If instead you find emotion, excitement, a clever solution, even a wave of relief, and yet a thread of question remains, sit still. Kindness, yes. Activity, no. Tarry. Do not try to coax God with longer sentences or prettier words. Tarry. Time means nothing, 5 minutes or 50. If the click is absent, keep the case closed and the heart open. Take no thought. Matthew 6:25. The one who does the works has not changed address. We have only ceased knocking on our own door. After the click, and only then, turn. Now the case, the task, the phone call, not to fix, but to witness what the click has already sealed. Sometimes a word rises clear and spare. Sometimes a visit, sometimes silence holy, warming silence that does the work. None of our syllables could. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. John 14:10. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Psalm 127:1. The click is the seal. Ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise. Ephesians 1:13. You are authorized, not as a separate agent, but as oneness revealed. I and the Father is one. Do you see that? And if today there is no click, we make the endurance vow. Never give up. Never give up. Return tomorrow, and the next tomorrow. Not in strain, but in devotion to isness. We do not work at God, we rest in God. We wait, not for a future, but for the veil of our own haste to thin. There is no future tense in truth. The click only ever reveals the now that is already God. So the protocol is kept simple. Is, as, click. Abide without agenda. Recognize God as this. Wait for Emmanuel's yes. Then, and only then, move. If movement is given, God is I am. Keep to it. Time means nothing. Presence is all. Do you see that? Let us bring this into the field where questions bark loudest. A wartime riddle comes. What of soldiers blown to bits, how awaken? Will some heavenly workshop reattach limbs, polish bone, and retune sinew? You see, that question assumes man is a collection of parts spread on a table, but identity is not made of parts. Identity is I am. I am the resurrection and the life. John 11:25. Resurrection is not repair. It is appearing. When Christ is recognized, what seemed broken disappears into newness. Not a jigsaw reassembled, but life unveiling itself as itself. The soldier does not hunt for his fragments. He awakens as wholeness, never lost. Do you see that? You haven't seen the healing at all. You witnessed revelation. Now consider the man at the pool of Bethesda. 38 years horizontal, surrounded by a theory of angels and timing, a competition for a single moving of water. Jesus asks, wilt thou be made whole? John 5-6. He does not organize a convalescence committee. He does not massage muscles, count vitamins, or prescribe rest in graduated intervals. Rise, take up thy bed and walk. John 5-8. And the man rises. He does not convalesce. He rises. Why? Not because tissue learned to behave in 10 seconds, but because the new creature Christ appeared where a cripple once seemed humanhood, with its calendar of delay dropped. Oneness stood forth. Do you see that? Not repair, revelation. If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Present tense is. Let a simpler scene help. A child wakes in night terror, eyes wild, with a picture only he can see. Monsters in the closet, shadows with teeth. Do we treat the beast? Do we litigate with darkness? Turn on every light in the county and argue with shadows? Gently. No. We sit. Is, as, click. God is, I am. God as this child. Emmanuel as this small body, this breath, this room. We wait until the click. Then the room, which did not change its furniture, is suddenly warm. The child sighs. The dream lets go because it finds nothing to hold. No monster was evicted. Presence was revealed. Do you see that? Revelation, not repair, reorders, sight, and outcome. Here is your practice burst when the phone rings or the cry rises. Treat them as if this is the only minute on earth, because in truth, it is. There is no future tense in truth. No later to fix. No elsewhere to fetch power. Close the case. Open the heart. Abide in is behold as, and wait for the click. When it comes, rise, speak, or keep holy silence as authorized, and watch what looked like parts to mend stands up as wholeness to witness. You haven't seen a healing at all. You have seen the Word made flesh, the old picture set aside, the new creature, Christ, right here. Do you see that? Dry spells come. Do not let that surprise you. After the sweetness of a clear click, there may be days or weeks when the room feels made of wood and your prayer sounds like a spoon tapping an empty bowl. That is not absence of God. That is the drying up of our demand for sensation. You are being weaned from fireworks to presence. Do you see that? We are not after effects. We are after isness. The desert teaches us to value water, not puddles. Watch the detours that call in these seasons. Technique chasing, a new cushion, a new timer, a new book with 7 better steps, timey table bargaining. If I do 30 minutes at dawn for 21 days, surely the heavens will send a package with a click inside. Metaphysical busy work, stacking affirmations like sandbags, editing every sentence for spiritual polish while the heart remains unbowed. Oh, and if you must publish the is secret, please send royalties. Better yet, practice. Do you see that? None of these buy presence. Presence is, the remedy is disarmingly simple. Return to is sit empty. Let the mind confess its exhaustion instead of hiring it as a foreman. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46-10. Not know about. No. Let the sentence wash through you without embroidery. God is, is, I am, under trial. Let the mantra be plain. The Lord is my shepherd, Psalm 23-1. Not was, not will be, is. There is no future tense in truth. If the click does not come, do nothing. Tarry ye until ye be endued with power from on high, Luke 24-49. Time means nothing. Presence is all. Now, sit down and overhaul yourself. Not your neighbor, not the news, not the one who offended you at breakfast. Overhaul yourself. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment, John 7:24. The illusion is not in them. It is within the lens. 2 rails seem to meet in the distance. They do not. A cloud seems to sit on the mountain. It doesn't. When the eye is single, the whole body is full of light, Matthew 6:22. Do you see that? None outside need correction while the sense of twoness sits inside unchallenged. Exchange the label again. God as this thought, this breath, this brother. Take courage. Never give up. Never give up. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah 40-31. Not they that agitate, they that wait. Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Galatians 6-9. Due season is not a date on the wall. It is the moment veil thins and presence is felt. The click does not reward effort. it greets steadfastness. It comes to the heart that has stopped performing and started consenting. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works, John 14:10. Do you see that? So in drought or deluge, keep the same protocol. Close the case. Open the heart. Abide in is. Behold as. Wait for the click. If it does not come, speak kindly and do nothing. If it comes, move as authorized. God is. God is. Is. I am. The Lord is my shepherd. Time means nothing. Presence is all. And the long faithfulness, which the world calls delay, heaven calls devotion. Now we seal and send. Not a parade, not a certificate, an inward. Yes, that becomes your daily breath. Live by the click. Move only from presence, in presence, as presence. The rhythm is simple and holy. In the morning, before the foot touches the floor, sit in the quiet and descend into is. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Let it hush the calendar. God is. God is. I am. Then behold, as God, as this very life, this room, this day, wait for Emmanuel, the click. Do not plan the day. Receive it, and let your first words rise as present declarations, not pep talks. Beloved, now are we the sons of God. 1 John 3-2. Now am I the Son of God. Wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business? Luke 2:49. Now am I about my Father's business. There is no future tense in truth. Do you see that? Carry that seal into the hours. Before you write, call, treat, or decide, make the pre-action check your habit. Have I the click? If not, pause. Take 30 to 60 seconds and treat that pause as the only minute on earth. Close the case. Open the heart. God is I am. Exchange the label. God as this person. God as this task. God as this street you are about to walk. Tarry, even in a breath, until the soft yes appears. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Exodus 14:13. Then move spare or silent as authorized. If the yes is absent, kindness without intervention is obedience. Take no thought. Matthew 6:25. One power, one law, one cause. Make midday a renewal, not a recess. At the door of noon, step inside the closet of consciousness for a minute or 3. Return to is. Refresh as. Wait for Emmanuel's whisper. Let a simple verse anchor you. The Lord is my shepherd. Psalm 23:1. Not was, not will be, is. Feel the shoulders put down their armor again. Feel the breath remember its home again. And if the world tries to sell you urgency without presence, smile and decline. We are not merchants of movement. We are witnesses of God. Evening is for gratitude, not inventory. Sit once more and give thanks, not for improved appearances, but for the unveiled presence, whether fireworks or plain light. Count not outcomes. Notice oneness. Lo, I am with you always. Matthew 28-20. Let the day fold into that sentence. God is, God as, Emmanuel within. If there were places you moved without the click, lay them gently in the light. Do not scold consent. The shepherd is now. This is your benediction and commission. The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and give thee peace. Numbers 6, 24, 26. And hear it as identity, not distance. Here is God made manifest as man. Rise each day, sealed and sent by that inner, yes. Never give up. Never give up. Time means nothing. Presence is all. Do you see that? Go as the presence, not toward it. God is God as Emmanuel within.